Rain hammered the Chicago bus station windows like accusations. Emma Chen pressed her portfolio against her chest, feeling 3 years of rejected grant applications crumple beneath her fingers. At 29, she had mastered the art of swallowing disappointment. The boarding call crackled through speakers. Bodies surged forward. Emma helped an elderly woman with luggage when someone's shoulder sent her bag skidding across wet concrete. Strong hands caught it mid-slide. Careful. His voice cut through the chaos like expensive whiskey, smooth and burning. Marcus Kane. She knew the face from business magazines. Sharp jawline, gray eyes that held winters, a suit that cost more than her yearly rent. The tech mogul who built empires on other people's failures. Thank you. Their fingers touched as she took the bag. Electricity shot up her arm. Marcus. Emma. The bus horn blared. They boarded in a rush, Emma taking the back while Marcus claimed the front. Neither noticed they had grabbed the wrong bag in the chaos. 3 hours later, Emma climbed to her studio apartment. She reached for her sketchbook and found items that stopped her heart. Documents marked redevelopment project, architectural plans showing her neighborhood demolished, and beneath it all, a letter on cream paper. Dad, I know you wanted me to feel nothing. You trained me well. But buying Emma Chen's block and forcing her out feels different. She reminds me of Mom before you broke her. This deal closes next week. By then, she'll have no choice but to sell. It's just business. It has to be. Emma's hands shook. The man who caught her bag was the monster destroying her home. Across the city, Marcus stared at Emma's open portfolio. Sketches of her neighborhood bloomed across pages. Children laughing. Elderly couples on stoops. Her building labeled home in careful letters. At the bottom, a half-finished painting showed a businessman in an expensive suit, face twisted with loneliness despite the crowd around him. The likeness was unmistakable. His phone buzzed. The deal closes in 6 days. Marcus looked at the painting again. At the way she had captured the exact shade of his isolation, he picked up his phone and dialed her number from the business card in her bag. Emma answered on the first ring. "We need to talk," they said simultaneously. The line crackled with tension and unspoken accusations. "Tomorrow," Marcus said. "Millennium Park, noon." Emma clutched his letter like evidence at a crime scene. "I'll be there." She hung up before he could hear her voice break. Outside their separate windows, Chicago held its breath. Millennium Park sprawled under October sun like broken promises. Emma arrived early, Marcus's letter burning in her jacket pocket. She watched him approach, every step calculated, a predator in cashmere. "You read it." His jaw tightened. "You looked through my work." They stood 3 feet apart, close enough to wound. "That painting," Marcus said slowly. "How did you know?" "Know what? That billionaires feel empty? Lucky guess." His gray eyes flashed. "I'm not here to defend myself." "Good, because you're destroying my home for profit." Emma's voice cracked. "Those aren't just buildings to you. They're numbers on spreadsheets, but they're lives to me, my neighbors, my students." "Your students?" "I teach art to kids whose parents work 3 jobs. Her hands fisted. "In the community center you're about to demolish." Something crossed his face. Pain, maybe, or calculation. "The deal is done, Emma. Contracts signed. Money transferred." "Then why are you here?" The question hung between them like smoke. "Because?" Marcus stepped closer. "That painting made me remember something I spent 10 years forgetting." "What?" "That I used to be human." Emma laughed, bitter and sharp. "Congratulations on your revelation. Too bad it came a week too late. What if I could stop it?" Her heart stuttered. "Stop what?" "The demolition. The whole project." His voice dropped. "What if I could kill the deal?" "Why would you?" Suspicion laced every word. "You'd lose millions." Marcus reached into his coat and pulled out her portfolio. "Because someone painted me better than I know myself, and I need to understand why. That's not a reason. That's guilt." "Maybe guilt is enough." Emma searched his face for lies and found only exhaustion. "What do you want from me?" "Time, 2 weeks. Let me show you I'm not just the monster in that letter. And if you are, then you paint my portrait and show the world exactly what I am." The offer trembled between them, dangerous and intoxicating. "One condition," Emma said. "You work at the community center. With the kids. You see what you're destroying." Marcus's throat worked. "Deal." They shook hands. The touch lasted a moment too long. Over the next week, Marcus showed up every afternoon. At first, the kids circled him like a strange animal, but Emma watched something shift. He listened when 10-year-old Maya described her drawing. He stayed late helping Roberto clean paintbrushes. He sat on the floor with the children, his expensive suits forgotten. One evening, Emma found him alone in the art room, staring at a child's painting of a family. "My mother was an artist," Marcus said without turning. "My father called it weakness. When she died, he burned every canvas she ever made." Emma's breath caught. "Marcus. I watched him do it. I was 12. I didn't stop him." His voice scraped raw. "I've spent 20 years becoming exactly what he wanted, and I hate myself for it." She moved closer, close enough to feel his heat, then change. "It's too late. It's never too late." He turned. Their faces were inches apart. She could see gold flecks in his gray eyes, count the shadows beneath them. "Emma, I need to tell you something." Her phone exploded with messages. Then his, both devices screaming simultaneous alerts. Emma's hands shook as she read the news headline. "Kane Enterprises accelerates demolition. Redevelopment project begins tomorrow." She looked up at Marcus. His face had gone white. "I didn't authorize this. You're the CEO. My father." Marcus grabbed his phone, dialing frantically. "He still has board access. He must have pushed it through while I was here." Emma stepped back. "This was a game. Keep me distracted while the real move happened." "No, Emma, I swear. Get out. Please listen." "I said get out." He left. The door closing sounded like a coffin lid. Emma sank to the floor among the children's paintings. Outside, construction equipment rolled toward her neighborhood like tanks toward a battlefield. Her phone rang. Unknown number. "Miss Chen?" A woman's voice, crisp and professional. "My name is Victoria Kane. I'm Marcus's mother, and I think it's time you knew the truth about my son." The coffee shop smelled of burned espresso and secrets. Victoria Kane sat across from Emma, elegant as a knife, wearing grief like expensive perfume. "He told you I was dead," Victoria said. Not a question. Emma's throat tightened. "Car accident. Years ago. No accident. No death." Victoria's smile cut glass. "Just a divorce so vicious it made legal history. Thomas wanted to erase me. So he told our son I died rather than admit I left him." The room tilted. Marcus was 15. Old enough to know better, you'd think. Victoria traced her coffee cup rim. "But Thomas is very convincing, especially when he's destroying everything you love." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because my son has been sabotaging his father's company for 3 months. Victoria leaned forward. "Every deal Thomas pushes, Marcus quietly undermines. Your neighborhood? Marcus has been buying up properties through shell companies, not to demolish them. To protect them." Emma's head spun. "That's impossible, is it? Did you ever wonder why he came to that bus station? Why he was in a place so far beneath his usual world? He was traveling. He was following you." Victoria pulled out a tablet, swiped through documents. "He's been watching your art program for 6 months, sending anonymous donations, blocking his father's previous attempts to buy the building." The air turned thin. But the demolition. Thomas discovered what Marcus was doing. This accelerated timeline? Punishment. Forcing Marcus to choose between the company and you. Why would Marcus care about me? Victoria's expression softened. "Because you painted the truth he's been running from. That letter you found? Not for his father. For himself. A confession he never meant anyone to read." Emma's phone buzzed. "Text from Marcus, please. One chance to explain. Don't trust him yet," Victoria warned. "But don't condemn him either. My son is fighting a war you don't understand." 3 hours later, Emma stood outside Marcus's penthouse. Lake Michigan stretched black beyond floor-to-ceiling windows. He opened the door looking destroyed, shirt untucked, hair chaos. "Your mother found me." He closed his eyes. "Of course she did. Is it true? The shell companies? Yes. The donations? Yes. Why didn't you tell me?" Marcus stepped back, letting her inside. His penthouse was sterile, lifeless. No art, no color. A mausoleum for the living. Because telling you meant revealing how obsessed I'd become. His voice cracked. "I saw you at a gallery 6 months ago. You were teaching kids to paint. You laughed when one of them accidentally mixed all the colors into brown. You told him brown was honest. Real. the color of earth and growth. Emma's breath caught. I stood there watching you and remembered my mother. The way she made beauty matter. Marcus moved to the windows. I've spent years becoming my father. Ruthless, empty. Then I saw you and remembered there was another way to be. So you stalked me? I protected you. There's a difference. Is there? He turned. The rawness in his face made her chest ache. My father owns 60% of the company. I've been trying to buy out his shares for 2 years. I'm close, so close. But this project? If I kill it outright, he'll know. He'll destroy everything. The community center. Your home. You. I can handle your father. No, you can't. Marcus's hands fisted. He doesn't just demolish buildings. He demolishes lives. People who cross Thomas Kane disappear into legal nightmares. Bankruptcy. Ruined reputations. Worse. Then what do? The question shifted something between them. From accusation to alliance, I have a plan, but it requires you to trust me. Marcus stepped closer, and I know I haven't earned that. What kind of plan? The kind where we both lose everything. Or we both win. Emma searched his face, found desperation and determination tangled together. Tell me. He did. The plan was insane. Dangerous. It required Emma to play a role that would destroy her reputation. Required Marcus to betray his father publicly. The consequences would be nuclear. If this fails, Emma said slowly, I lose my home, my students, everything. If it fails, I lose the company, my mother's legacy, everything I've been fighting for. They stood in the darkness, Chicago glittering below like scattered diamonds. Why me? Emma whispered. You could have protected that building without involving me. Marcus's hand lifted, almost touching her face, then dropped. Because you saw me. Really saw me, and for the first time in years I wanted to be seen. The confession hung between them, raw and bleeding. Emma made a decision that would change everything. Okay. I'm in. Marcus exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for months. We start tomorrow. And Emma, his voice dropped. If this works, you'll hate me before you can forgive me. What does that mean? His phone lit up with an incoming call. Thomas Kane. It means the betrayal hasn't happened yet. He answered the call. Put it on speaker, son. Thomas's voice dripped poison. I hear you've been spending time with the Chen girl. Good. Get close. Make her trust you. Then we'll crush her completely. Marcus's eyes locked with Emma's. Yes, father. That's exactly what I'm doing. He hung up. Emma's world tilted. Marcus, what just happened? Phase 1. His face had gone cold, corporate. Tomorrow I'm going to use you exactly like my father wants. And you're going to let me... The press conference glittered with cameras and corporate vultures. Emma stood beside Marcus on the stage, wearing a borrowed dress that cost more than her car. He'd coached her through every word, every gesture. Smile like you believe me, he'd said that morning. Hate me tonight. Now Marcus addressed the media with practiced charm. Today, Kane Enterprises is proud to announce a partnership with Emma Chen, renowned local artist. His hand found the small of her back possessive. Miss Chen has agreed to curate the art installations for our new luxury development. She understands that progress requires sacrifice. The words tasted like ash. Emma forced herself to smile as cameras flashed. A reporter called out, Miss Chen, isn't this the same development that will demolish your community center? Marcus's fingers pressed warning against her spine. Emma stepped to the microphone. Change is difficult, but Mr. Kane has shown me that we can honor the past while building the future. The lies coated her tongue like poison. Backstage, her phone exploded. Messages from neighbors, students, people who trusted her. Sellout. Traitor. We trusted you. Marcus pulled her into a private room. His mask cracked for one moment. I'm sorry. Don't. We knew this would happen. Emma. His hand cupped her face. When this is over, if you never speak to me again, I'll understand. She leaned into his touch despite everything. When what's over? You haven't told me the end game. Because if you knew, you'd try to stop me. Fear spiked through her. Marcus, what are you planning? Trust me. 3 more days. but 3 days felt like drowning. The next morning, Emma arrived at the community center to find it vandalized. Spray paint across her murals, windows shattered, the children's artwork destroyed. She sank to her knees among broken glass, silent tears cutting tracks through dust. Marcus found her there an hour later. This wasn't supposed to happen. What was supposed to happen? Emma's voice turned sharp. You parade me around like a trophy while my world burns? The plan is working. At what cost? She stood, glass crunching beneath her feet. I've lost everything. My reputation, my students' trust. Maya's mother won't even look at me. Marcus's jaw worked. 2 more days. No. Emma stripped off the expensive watch he'd given her for the press conference. I'm done being your puppet. Emma, please. You want to destroy your father? Fine, but not using me as kindling. She moved toward the door. His voice stopped her. He killed her. Emma froze. My mother. The car accident wasn't an accident. Marcus's words came mechanical, practiced from years of burial. She was leaving him, taking me. He cut the brake lines, made it look like drunk driving, destroyed her reputation even in death. The air turned thin. She survived the crash. Barely. Spent 2 years in a coma while he told everyone she was dead, filed divorce papers she couldn't contest. When she finally woke up, he'd taken everything. The company, the house, me. Emma turned slowly. By the time she found me, I was 18, already shaped into his image. She tried to tell me the truth, but I didn't believe her. Marcus's hand shook. I called her crazy. Chose him. Spent 10 more years as his weapon before I finally saw what he was. Marcus. This isn't about a building, Emma. It's about destroying him so completely he can never hurt anyone again. And I need you to be the bait. Horror and understanding crashed together. What happens in 2 days? The board meeting. He's calling for a vote to remove me as CEO, claiming I'm compromised, weak, distracted by a woman. But if they remove you, he wins everything. Unless... Marcus's eyes burned. Unless I have proof that he's been embezzling from the company for 20 years. Proof that only exists in his personal safe. Proof I need access to his office to retrieve. How does using me get you into his office? Marcus's expression turned haunted. Because tomorrow night he's throwing a gala, celebrating the demolition, and he specifically requested your presence. He wants to humiliate you publicly, break you in front of Chicago's elite. So I'm the distraction. You're the key. Marcus stepped closer. While everyone watches him destroy you, I'll be in his office. Getting the evidence, ending him. Emma processed this. The calculated cruelty. The risk. If you're caught, he'll bury you. If I'm caught, he'll do worse than bury me. Marcus's hand found hers. But if we succeed, Emma, we can save everything. The center, your neighborhood, all of it. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because I needed you to hate me convincingly. My father can smell deception, but your rage, that's real. He'll believe it. He'll think he's won. The manipulation cut deep, even understanding the necessity. After tomorrow night, Emma said carefully, we're even. No more lies. No more games. Deal. They stood in the ruins of the community center, glass glittering like broken stars around them. Marcus? What if I can't do it? What if I can't let him tear me apart? His thumb traced her cheekbone. You're the strongest person I've ever met. You'll survive this. We both will. The kiss happened without decision. Desperate and raw and tasting like goodbye. Emma pulled away first, breathless. Don't. We can't. I know. After tomorrow? Maybe. 24 hours later. Emma stood in a ballroom that smelled of champagne and calculated violence. Thomas Kane approached with a smile that made her skin crawl. Miss Chen, how delightful you could join us. Marcus watched from across the room, expression cold. Thomas raised his glass. The room fell silent. Tonight we celebrate progress. But first, I'd like to address a disappointment. His eyes found Emma. This young woman betrayed her community for profit. Sold her principles for my son's attention. Let's show her what Chicago thinks of sellouts. The crowd's murmur turned vicious. Emma's hands fisted. This was the plan. Let him destroy her. But Marcus's face had gone white. Something was wrong, Thomas continued. Of course, she didn't know that Marcus was using her, that every kind word was manipulation, every promise lies. He pulled out a document. I have emails here. Marcus instructing his team on exactly how to exploit Miss Chen's emotional vulnerabilities, how to make her fall in love with him, how to break her. The room spun. Marcus's expression shifted from shock to horror. Those are forgeries, are they? Thomas smiled. Or did you finally become the son I raised you to be? Emma looked at Marcus, found something devastating in his eyes, truth. Not about love, but about the initial plan. The emails were real, from months ago before he'd met her, before everything changed. Emma, Marcus's voice cracked. That was before, but Thomas wasn't finished. The real tragedy? Marcus actually did fall for her, went soft. So I had to accelerate my plans. Thomas snapped his fingers. Security guards appeared. Marcus Kane, you're under arrest for corporate espionage and embezzlement. The world tilted sideways. Marcus's eyes locked with Emma's. Run. Police moved forward. Emma understood in that crystalline moment. Marcus had taken the fall, confessed to crimes his father committed, sacrificed everything to protect her. As they handcuffed him, Marcus mouthed 2 words, trust Victoria, then he was gone, and Emma stood in a ballroom full of enemies, holding the shattered pieces of a plan that had just detonated in her hands. Emma ran until her lungs burned and Chicago blurred into neon and rain. Victoria Kane found her 3 hours later in an all-night diner, staring at cold coffee like it held answers. He protected you, Victoria slid into the booth. Confessed to everything to keep you safe from Thomas's lawyers. He lied to me. He did. At first, Victoria pulled out a tablet. But people change, Emma, even damaged people. Especially damaged people. The tablet showed security footage. Marcus in his office late at night, deleting those original emails. Recorded message attached. Emma hit play. Marcus's face filled the screen, exhausted and raw. If you're seeing this, something went wrong. Emma, those emails Thomas has? They were real. 3 months ago, I was exactly the monster my father trained me to be. I planned to use you, manipulate you, win and walk away, his voice cracked. But then I met you, really met you, and you looked at me like I could be saved. Like there was still something human underneath all this corporate armor. You were wrong, probably, but I wanted so badly to believe you were right. Emma's throat burned. I deleted these files, changed the plan, decided to protect you instead of using you. But my father has copies of everything. He'll use them. He'll make you think I never changed. Don't let him. Marcus leaned closer to the camera. I love you, Emma. I know I don't deserve to. I know I destroyed any right to your trust. But I need you to know that everything after that first week, that was real. Every moment, every word. You made me want to be the man you painted. The one who could still feel, still care, still be human. The video ended. Victoria's voice cut through the silence. Thomas thinks he's won. Marcus arrested. You discredited. The demolition proceeding tomorrow morning. Then he has won. Unless. Victoria smiled like a blade. Unless we give him exactly what he wants. 2 hours later, Emma stood at a press conference. But this time she wasn't alone. Behind her stood Victoria, the community center kids and their parents, business reporters, and a lawyer holding a very thick folder. Emma stepped to the microphone. 3 days ago, I stood here and lied. I said I supported the demolition. I don't. I never did. Her voice strengthened. Marcus Kane asked me to trust him. I did. Then I thought he betrayed me. He didn't. She pulled out documents. Thomas Kane has been embezzling from his own company for 20 years. Marcus discovered this 6 months ago and has been building a case. Tonight, Thomas had his son arrested to prevent that evidence from surfacing. The lawyer stepped forward. We have bank records, emails, recorded conversations. Thomas Kane systematically stole from shareholders while using company funds for personal gain. The demolition project? Funded with embezzled money. Marcus Kane was trying to stop it. Where did you get this? A reporter called. Victoria smiled. From Marcus's personal safe. The one he told me about 3 months ago. The one his father didn't know existed. Understanding rippled through the crowd. Marcus let himself be arrested, Emma continued, because he knew it would make his father confident, sloppy. While police processed Marcus, We processed this evidence. We've filed formal charges against Thomas Kane. The board voted an hour ago. Thomas is removed. The demolition is canceled. And Marcus? Emma's hands shook. Marcus Kane will be released tonight. All charges dropped. He gave up everything to protect people he barely knew, because that's who he really is underneath the armor his father built. The press exploded with questions. 6 hours later, Emma stood outside the police station in pre-dawn cold. Marcus emerged looking destroyed, suit rumpled, eyes hollow. He stopped when he saw her. You came. Did you think I wouldn't? I thought you'd hate me. Emma crossed the distance between them. I did, for about an hour. Then your mother showed me the video. The one where you deleted those emails. The one where you chose me over the plan. His throat worked. I'm sorry. For all of it. The manipulation, the lies, using you. I know. I don't deserve forgiveness. Probably not. Emma's hand found his, but I'm giving it anyway. Because you were right. People can change. Even broken people. Especially broken people. Marcus pulled her close, buried his face in her hair. The community center? Saved. Thomas is facing charges. The board wants you back as CEO. Emma pulled back to see his face. But Marcus, I need you to promise me something. Anything. No more secrets. No more games. If we do this, if we try to be something real, it has to be honest. Even when honesty is ugly. He cupped her face with shaking hands. I promise. The kiss was different this time. Not desperate, not goodbye. A beginning instead of an ending. When they finally broke apart, Dawn was painting Chicago gold. What happens now? Marcus asked. Now? Emma smiled. Now you come to the community center. Meet the kids properly. Help me rebuild what was broken. I don't know how to do that. Lucky for you. She pulled him toward her car. I'm an excellent teacher. 6 months later, the Millennium Park Gallery buzzed with opening night energy. Emma's exhibition covered every wall. Portraits of transformation. Marcus helping children paint. Victoria laughing with neighborhood elders. The community center rebuilt and thriving. But the centerpiece stopped everyone. 2 portraits side by side. Marcus as he was, cold, armored, alone. Marcus as he became. Paint-stained, smiling, surrounded by children. The same face, completely different souls. Marcus stood before it, Emma beside him. You made me look heroic, he said quietly. I painted what I saw. Even after everything? Especially after everything. Emma's hand found his. You taught me that people aren't one thing. We're capable of damage and repair, destruction and creation, sometimes in the same breath. He kissed her temple. You saved me. No, you saved yourself. I just reminded you it was possible. Around them, Chicago's art world circulated, discussing technique and meaning. But in that moment, they existed in their own constellation. 2 broken people who found each other in the chaos and chose to rebuild instead of destroy. Maya, Emma's former student, tugged on Marcus's sleeve. Mr. Kane, come see what I painted. He followed without hesitation, and Emma watched him kneel beside the child, giving her his complete attention. The man who once commanded boardrooms now commanded finger paints. Victoria appeared at Emma's elbow. Thank you, for giving him back to me. He gave himself back. I just held the door open. Either way. Victoria squeezed her hand. You're family now, which means you're stuck with us. I can live with that. As the night deepened, Emma found Marcus on the gallery balcony, watching the city pulse with light. She wrapped her arms around him from behind. Regrets? She asked. He turned, pulled her close. Not a single one. Even losing the company? I didn't lose it. I transformed it. Just like you transformed me. His smile carried hard-won peace. Besides, running a non-profit community center is much more interesting than board meetings. Emma laughed. Liar, you miss the corporate drama. Maybe a little. He kissed her. But I wouldn't trade this. Us. What we built from the ashes. We built it together. Together, he agreed. Below them, Chicago sparkled. Above them, stars fought through light pollution. Between them, something fragile and fierce and entirely their own. The accidental meeting had become an intentional life. The betrayal had become trust. The sacrifice had become salvation. And 2 people who thought they were too broken to be fixed discovered that sometimes broken pieces fit together in ways whole ones never could. Emma leaned into Marcus's warmth and watched the city that had witnessed their destruction and resurrection. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight they had each other. And that was enough. That was everything. The end.